Hey guys, it's me Kaylee, back for another video, and today I'm going to show you guys how I became a creative warrior in 7 days. I've really appreciated all the support I've gotten lately, as I've now got around 1.7k subscribers, which is crazy to me. And since all these progression videos have worked, I'm going to try this style and see how it goes. So I hope you guys enjoy, please like and subscribe, and enjoy the video. So on day 1, I began by practicing in Raiders Peace Control map, V4. I began practicing on slow speeds in the free build section, and I was just trying to see how I'd actually go, and have somewhere to start to see how I improved at the end. As you can see at the start, my crosshair placement was really bad, and I need to develop this a lot more if I want to become a creative warrior. Also, I didn't really have many retakes and a lot of my moves were the same, which I needed to work on expanding my ability to do different retakes and to think differently in the spot if I wanted to become a better player and a creative warrior, of course. So after I practiced a lot in slow speeds, I decided to hop on normal speed now and see how I'd play in normal speeds. And it was better, but one thing that became very noticeable was I kept accidentally getting pre-edits on when I'd build, so soon enough I'd end up turning them off temporarily because they honestly were slowing me down instead of speeding me up. And after I practiced in the fast speed, I decided to do some crosshair placement work. I chose the static option in the practice map, which meant I just stay still the whole time when I edit. But a lot of the edits were very difficult and pretty unrealistic compared to an in-game scenario or creative scenario. But I thought they'd still develop some good habits for myself. And if I can edit in a lot of variety of ways, it will make my basic edits better too. So after this, I did some 1v1s to end the day off. In the 1v1s, I mainly focused on trying to be as mechanical as possible. And if I was below my opponent, to try and do some retakes. I didn't play that many 1v1s, but here are some of the highlights. On day 2, unlike day 1, I played a lot more Battle Royale, as you can see here. But when I played some creative, I was still trying to work on retakes and expanding my ability to do different moves. So I started to try and practice this new retake that I saw from some pros, as my retakes are very unprotected, and the point of a retake is to protect yourself and get high ground. So I tried to focus on this particular retake a lot until I got it down pat. Unfortunately though, this retake was really hard, so it took me a while to actually get used to it. Anyway, then after I played a little bit with my friends, and I got a nice clip here. On day 3, I continued to practice this retake, and I did this a lot because I was really trying to perfect it. I also was trying to practice my movement whilst loading some new retakes, because my movement was very clunky and I'd always get stuck. Which is why after practicing this retake, I started trying to practice my side jumps, so I'm able to move a lot better and not get caught on opponents' builds. After I practiced my side jumps, I decided to practice this new retake where you flip the cone and then edit. And after this, I was actually able to do this in an in-game scenario, as you'll see here.
I got full box, full paste, and full oxygen.
After playing a lot of build fights and using some of my new retakes, I decided to play zone wars, which is probably essential to become a good creative warrior. After practicing in zone wars, I decided to play some speed realistics, because if I can be mechanical in speed realistics, I can do it in any game mode, and I was actually getting pretty PC here. On day 4, I hopped back into Raiders Peace Control map and I started free building on a slower speed again. However, I started getting annoyed because I was stuffing up a lot, so I quickly swapped and started doing some free building. while I was waiting for a player to join. And despite me still missing a lot of edits and my movement being a bit bad, I was at least correcting my edits quickly, and I was still learning and getting a lot faster than I was before. After I free built for a while, I ended up doing some 1v1s, and I was just trying to practice the moves I've learned. And as you can see here, my movement was still really awful, but at least my piece was a lot better. Oh. On day 5, I continued to practice in Raiders Peace Control map, and basically for the whole day I just sat in here free building. I started on the slowest speed and I progressed up, and I was moving a lot better than the time before. And as I went to a higher speed, I actually impressed myself that I was able to keep editing at a better speed. And then I'd continue to just practice free building, not really with much of a purpose, but it was still working on my mechanics. And then I decided to try and free build against some bots to see if I could kind of use my mechanics in a more in-game scenario. On day 6, I didn't play as much of the game, and I chilled a lot more, played a bit with my friends. But in terms of becoming a creative warrior, I played some zone wars, and I was trying to just practice my fighting. As being a creative warrior, it's not just about having good mechanics, but also just being a good fighter and being able to beat good players, as we did here. After I free built a bit in a 1v1 against some opponents, I probably didn't get many clips or play as well as I hoped, but I was able to kill this guy pretty well here. On day 7, this is the day I probably played the game the most. For a lot of it, I actually practiced in Raiders Peace Control map, just editing. Even if for some very basic edits, I was just trying to really work on my crosshair placement in this map. And I even took it a bit slower at times just to try and perfect my editing. As you can see, I started also adding some variations to it myself to challenge myself a bit more, as just doing double edits won't get me into a good habit of building my actual builds. After I did some more editing here, and once I started getting the hang of it, I was ready to go into rebuilding. So first I practiced a new retake, which I've kind of done before, but I'm really bad at it, so I was just trying to perfect it. And I was actually able to use this in my free build here, which is pretty nice and pretty clean. Now after this, I started doing some fighting, and I was really trying to implement all my moves into these fighting sessions, because after this whole 7-day progression, I wanted to actually do something with these. And I ended up doing my first 6-fold edit in a game scenario, which was really cool and I was really happy about. After all my practice, I decided to try and use the retake I practiced from day 1 and see if I could get a kill with it. Now just to end this video off, thank you for all the support I've had, as this month has been pretty crazy. And I hope before Christmas I can hit maybe 3,000 subscribers. So please like and subscribe and share it with your friends. And I'll see you in the next video.